Hello, everybody. Good day, wherever you are. Welcome to the show. This is Straight Up College Football. And before we get started, I do want to get a couple of things out of the way about myself. First of all, we will be talking college football. However, I am an Alabama fan. I want to make sure that that's out there. That's clear. Everybody understands it. Okay. It will be an Alabama centric show most of the time. Not all the time. We will talk about the Buckeyes and the Trojans and the Florida Gators and the Michigan Wolverines and so on and so on. But today, kind of wanted to talk about something that everybody's been talking about, and that's the Alabama recruiting class and where it's at, where it's not at, what's going on, these kind of things. So, I want to start out first by saying the national media and rival fans, they're going to find every way to make a bigger deal out of this than it probably is. I don't know. It may be that bad, but it's what, June? Today's Father's Day. So probably going to try to make a bigger deal out of it than what it is. But anyway, as we sit here today, and my latest here, 247's got Bama ranked at 67th. On three has them at 57. 9 commits, right? Not hot, not great. Okay, I get it. Well, first of all, there's something, and it goes back to like the 2008 class had, where I think the 2008 class had 8, 9, 10 seniors, something like that, playing on that team. This year's class is going to have 9 seniors. Okay, 9 seniors, around 30 juniors, same number of sophomores, 25 to 30 sophomores. Just depends on a couple things. So 9 seniors, not a lot of room. And I hear everybody now. I hear the Auburn fans. I hear the Tennessee fans. Another spin. Here we go. No, those are facts. Okay, those are facts. Um, Second thing is we got to get into this, and it all goes back to NIL and the transfer portal. Okay, when this goofy law was enacted in California, ever how many years ago, where they basically said they can make money off of their name, image, and likeness, and the NCAA can't do anything. Fine. The problem was, and you've heard the term consequences. Consequences some people don't talk about, right? Nobody talked about the consequences of what this might bring. Okay, the consequences were there were no guardrails. There was no market. There was no anything. It's just open. Do whatever. If this kid's autograph is worth $4 million, then fine, whatever. Okay, well, you see where that's gotten us. So here we go. There's two ways teams are being built now. Okay, they're being built through the portal, or teams are trying to stick to mostly high school development. Clemson, Alabama come to mind, Georgia to a degree, where they're trying to, 80% ish, whatever, of their roster is guys they bring up through the ranks. You got the other side who looks at their team every year. We need a complete overhaul. So we're going to bring in 25 guys from the portal. We're going to bring in 30 guys from the portal, whatever that number is. And we're just going to keep doing this every year. And either way, you can't build a program anymore. You build a team. Everybody will be playing with a 2026 team this year, not the Notre Dame program or the Michigan program or the Southern Cal program. All these guys are going to be from somewhere else. Now, here is the problem And this is what Alabama has decided not to do. First, just what I said, try to retain kids, develop those kids. This is where we're going to find out what kind of coaching staff we have, what kind of coaches we have, what kind of players we have, what kind of character we got. Build those guys, retain those guys. That's where a lot of the money went to this year. Now, with that being said, does Alabama have Texas money? No. Do they have A&M money? No. They have Ohio State money? No. They probably even have USC money. Okay. But I don't think that they're any worse off outside of Texas, Texas A&M in the SEC. I don't think that anybody's really a lot better than Alabama. You're not going to convince me of that anyway. I know LSU had a roster reportedly north of $40 million. I don't know, but north of 40 million. We'll say 43 million, something like that. I think is what I heard. But here's the thing, and I said this from the start. Two things are going to happen with this whole mess. Is either something's going to be put in place to cap everybody, or the market's just going to correct itself. And when I say correct itself, let me explain that for a minute. Okay, let's say you did spend $43 million on your roster this year. Okay, fine, great. A few of those guys produce. A few of those guys really make plays, get you in the college football playoff, what have you. You know what those guys are going to want next year? A big fat raise. Don't think they're coming back for the same amount of money or less. No, they're going to want more. They're going to go somewhere else. So now your roster has gone from 43 million to 55 million because you had 8 or 9 guys that really did what they were supposed to, look good, want to raise, or they're going to take their stuff elsewhere. Okay. Second of all, players talk. Players talk a lot. No. Players brag. Okay. Yo, I got this much. What? You got that much? I got to go talk to my coach. I got to talk to my booster, whatever. Yeah. Those things are going to go on. And this price is going to go up and up and up. We've seen that the last 4 years. A lot of teams started out with this. Now they're twice that much. Okay. And some of these numbers I think are a little conservative, to be honest with you. Well, outside of Texas A&M or Texas, or maybe a Texas Tech, an Ohio State, something like that, they could probably pay forever or a lot longer than everybody else could. I don't think that the other big spenders this year, the LSUs or the Ole Misses, I don't think they can do that. I don't think they can keep going up until it gets into the 125, 130, 150 million dollar range. I just don't believe it can happen. Don't know how much further they can go than what they are right now. So what you've got here is a situation where it would have to find a way to correct itself. Now, I understand these billionaires, giving the money away to help the football program. But listen, these guys aren't going to keep writing $15-20 million checks. They didn't get rich by giving their money away. Okay. So this brings in the third problem with this. And this is a problem, in my opinion, strictly my opinion, it means nothing. But this is my opinion. This is what's always been wrong with Texas and Texas A&M. In that you've got so much money, now you've got meddling. Okay? And let me explain what goes on. John Q. Booster walks into the University of Texas president's office and he says, "Hey, I got a $15 million check for your NIL this year." The Texas president says, "Hey, that's great. We can really put that to good use. I'll take it up and make sure that the coach knows it." John Q. Booster says, no, I'd really like to present it to the coach myself. Let's go that way. So they go up to the head coach's office, and Mr. University President walks in and says, Mr. Head Coach, John Q. Booster here has something for you. Coach, here's a $15 million check. Now, you take that money and you go get them. No, no, not how it works. That guy that wrote that $15 million check is going to say, Coach, here's your $15 million check. Coach says, thank you. We really appreciate your support for the program. Then Mr. Booster says, great. Now, is there somewhere we can go and talk personnel and strategy? Because I got a lot of things I really like to lay on you and maybe some personnel changes I'd like to see made. That's how that goes down. Okay. Somebody that's investing that much money into a football program, they're going to want to have a say in what goes on. I don't care what anybody says. People can deny that all day. Okay. They can deny it all day. Now, as far as paying players, I've said for 30 years, rev share should be there. The players should get a part of the rev share. That's only fair. Okay. Now, getting back to the Alabama situation. What Alabama's limit on NIL is, I couldn't tell you, but I know it's not what some other schools is. Let's just put it like that. Okay. A lot of money was spent to retain players. So, what you got now is a situation where is the way Alabama going to handle this the right way? I don't know. Is the development through high school? Is the not overpaying somebody you don't think's worth it and letting them walk? Is it going to work? I don't know. We're going to have to find out. A lot of stuff's going to have to figure itself out. We'll see coming up. But this particular recruiting class here, there's a situation where, yeah, some kids are leaving because Alabama's not paying as much. I get it. And that's just, there's the chance Alabama's taking. So as I said, Alabama sits here at 67 and 57 on the only two that I really look at, only two services I really look at. And you go back and you look at the players that are coming back this year. Ryan Williams is coming back. Ladzier Brooks is coming back. Ladzier showed flashes. Ryan showed flashes since he's been there. Daniel Hill's back. Caleb Edwards is back. Some guys that have played, have shown good skills, have had bad days, frankly. Defense, looking here, Jan Zapier, Keon Sabb, Xavier Brown, and probably the most important part of that defense that I think is probably Bray Hubbard. Okay. And here's what I think is going to go down before December. Now, Alabama's 2026 season, that's going to be a completely different video, and we'll go over that. This was based on this recruiting class, what's going on, what's not going on, what I do know, or what I think. Okay. So here's what I think is going to go down before December. First of all, Bama's going to up probably some offers. They're probably going to up some guys. Some guys that are committed elsewhere, some guys that haven't committed yet, whatever. I think they're going to up some offers. I would almost be pretty sure of that. This ranking of 67 and 57, no matter what, that's not going to stay that way. People can just get that out of their head. That's not going to stay where that's at. They're going to move up regardless. How much they move up, I don't know. I honestly think Alabama finishes this year around 20th, simply because the numbers are not going to be there. They're not going to sign 25 guys. So I think they're going to finish around 20th. That's where I would predict it to be. And you're also going to have some guys that take visits during the season, and they won't be swayed until then. A lot of these guys, they've been promised a lot. Probably some other guys are going to move in. Possibly some of these deals may not go down. I don't know. But there will be some movement. Bottom line is this: nobody is going to convince me. And the national narrative and the narrative from all the rivals is, well, Alabama's broke. Okay, that's the narrative. Okay, which it's kind of ironic because for years we've heard lavish houses, bags of cash, jewelry, luxury automobiles. That's how Alabama was winning. Now Alabama's broke. Uh, Somebody make that. I mean, what the market fallout is something. I mean, what happened? You know, make up your mind. Which one is it? Are we broke, or did we buy championships for all those years? Because it's not both. Probably somewhere in the middle there. So the recruiting ranking is not going to stay that way. Alabama's not going to get outspent by other than Texas A&M, Alabama. I'm sorry, you're never going to convince me Alabama can hang with Georgia and LSU and certainly Ole Miss and Mississippi State and South Carolina. You're not going to tell me that the recruiting ranking is so low because those teams are spending more than Alabama and have more to spend. That's just not going to fly. Okay, Alabama's one of the top two, three biggest brands in college football as far as merchandise goes, ticket sales, all that good stuff. You're not going to convince me that they're below Mississippi State, okay, in ability to spend. So everybody kind of settle down in a couple of things. Let's see where the rest of this class goes, and let's see how this season shakes out. Let's see if this plan that the Boer and Byrne have come up with to negate overpaying, setting a market that's unattainable, these kind of things. And don't forget, there's also this Save College Sports Act or whatever it's called that may cap all this anyway. Okay, and it may be a moot point. I don't know, but that's still got to get through a lot of voting, a lot of legislation, a lot of stuff. Still got to get through that. So we're not going to go there right now. We're going to just pretend that everything's going to stay the way it is. So let's sit back. Let's see how the rest of this class goes. They're still in on some guys. Let's see how this season goes. Offers are up. We'll see. And we'll go from there. We are going to talk more football as we go on. And we will get into the rosters and players, abilities, predictions, and not just for Alabama. I'm going to do Georgia and Florida and Tennessee and LSU and everybody. So anyway, um, today is Father's Day. You guys make sure you may be already have celebrated it today, celebrating it right now, celebrating it tonight, whatever. If you're like me, my father died 3 or 4 years ago, 3 years ago, and never got a chance to say bye. It was a massive heart attack. And just want to say, guys, make sure you spend some time. Make sure you enjoy the time. Make sure you don't take it for granted. And again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And until next time, see you.